Welcome to the PharmaSource podcast.
Good morning, everyone. A very warm welcome to another edition of the PharmaSource podcast. Today, delighted to be joined by Franciane Chevot, who is the Senior Business Development Manager at Almac Sciences. Franciane, a very warm welcome to the podcast. Looking forward to talking to you today. Perhaps you can just start by giving us a brief introduction to you and to the Almac business.
Thank you so much. First of all, really happy to be here and speaking with you. So as you mentioned, my name is Franciane Chevot. I'm a senior business development at Almac Sciences, and I've been in the company for the last 10 years. So my background is not always been in business development. I started as a development chemist at Almac and then become a senior chemist and was really interested in the discussion with the customer and getting closer. And I moved to business development in the last 6 years. So yes, I joined Almac as a scientist, have a strong background. There's a lot of people part of the Almac Sciences part of the Almac Group, so I can define that a bit more. But Almac Group is a contract development manufacturer organization which supports companies from diagnostic kits to drug substance, drug product, clinical supply, and commercial supply for pharmaceutical biotechs and pharmaceutical companies as well as a whole. And we provide services in that CMC part of the package of services. So, and I'm part of that drug substance especially. So as by background, I'm a chemist and become a development chemist and then business development.
Thanks very much for that introduction. Obviously, we're also very, very pleased to have Almac as a partner, as a sponsor at CDMO Live taking place in May. So great to have you on the podcast today, Franciane. Thank you. To get us started, you've given us a little bit of information, but it would be great to understand what differentiates Almac in today's market, particularly thinking about therapeutic focus, technical capabilities. Could you share some examples that demonstrate the real expertise of the business?
As already mentioned, we support all along the life cycle, from early stage to late stage in commercial, and we've been in the industry for the last 55 years. We support about 7,500 employees, around 18 facilities worldwide. So we have presence in Europe, mainly in the Republic of Ireland and the United Kingdom, but also in North America and Asia. We are privately owned, and that differentiation is because we are owned by a trust. So we are a private company owned by a trust, and ultimately what that means for us, it means that all our profits are totally reinvested in the company. That also translates in the term of growth. So our growth is maybe compared to other service provider slower, and we're quite proud of that steady growth. And that's what we've been doing for the last 55 years. So we want to be here for the long term. And so far, we've been doing that for the last 55 years. And in terms of projects, Almac is agnostic in terms of therapeutic indication. So we support all the projects within the pharma industry. We don't have specific in that instance. And the type of project that will come from a drug substance perspective will be, for instance, a biotech that never scale up its project and are looking at his first time 1 kilogram GMP, and we can get into giving them value. So a recent example was a biotech that had tin chemistry and enantioselective purification at the end. So where we add value here is, first of all, making that process more economical and supporting maybe a more scalable chemistry. And that's really where the expertise of our scientists come in. So in that project, we were able to deliver about 1.2 kilogram within 12 months with 16 steps to develop. So another type of project will be coming from pharmaceutical company that already have an established project and that want to optimize this process. So we had this reduction, for instance, which was done by metal catalyst chemistry. And we looked into using our biocatalysis expertise in that instance. So we use a biocatalysis process to improve the enantiomer selectivity of that process with higher than 99%. And we were able to support the client with a process that met their requirement. So that's really where we want to add value to our customer project. And that's what we're looking to do.
Franciane, could you walk us through your quality management system and regulatory compliance approach. Maybe tell us a bit more about track record with regulatory inspections and how do you ensure consistent quality across your operations?
We have a worldwide base customers, and this means that we are audited by the standard regulatory authorities like the FDA, the MHRA for the UK, the HPRA for the Irish body of the EMA here. But we also have been audited by Japan authorities like the PMDA, and also, of course, by our customers on a regular basis. At Almac, the way we see our quality is our senior management are responsible for the implementation and effectiveness of that quality management, and it's done in-house. We do everything in-house. And recently, we always had a lot of compliment about how we were managing our quality event activities. And we recently just integrated the cloud system. So this has allowed really us to give a real-time visibility to our customer to see how quality events were progressing, and definitely provide a superior solution for them.
How do you approach new client partnerships from initial engagement through tech transfer? We're really interested here to understand how you handle knowledge transfer and ensure project success, be that with pharma companies or with biotechs.
As I already mentioned, I have a scientific background. Most of our project managers have a scientific background as well. And the team initially was built up. The project management head used to work in the lab as well 20 years ago. And that is really where our focus is. So from day one, if you come to us, we are really focused on the scientific solution for our customer, and we tailor it to their needs from day one. So we think that speaking about the scope and what is required is really a milestone to be discussed and agreed with the customer. And that is why we think it's a good start for a project with us to be working. We have flexibility, obviously, but we really want to understand the needs. And then a new customer then will have this discussion, scope will be fixed, then the project management team will take over. And as I mentioned, they are scientifically tuned in, so they'll be able to bring the relevant people from each team. And another thing is we really relish a scientific to scientific discussion, meaning that our customer will speak directly with the people doing the experiment in the lab. And that is how we can manage a schedule to be achieved and milestone. And our project manager as well will, as because they have some understanding on the project a bit deeper, they will be able to bring in and the people that require to be there, and also to assess what proactively what's need to be done. So that's really how we manage this onboarding on customer. And for transfer of knowledge, we try to work as much as we can of what the customer provides us, but also we provide really detailed report when our customer needs them to follow on another part of the project.
What about digital integration? This is increasingly seen as being very important for sponsors. How are you helping your clients achieve real-time visibility into their projects, and what technology investments have you made, are you making to support this?
So we have a lot of technology integration already in our quality management system by putting it on the cloud, which has a lot of good feedback. That was one of the big milestones we achieved last year into digitalization. And then in terms of also more in the lab, we have been quite we have now established an e-notebook for our standalone analytical lab, which is because we have one in the US and the two other are on the island of Ireland. So they are able to communicate on the same system, which is really really good for customers that are based in Europe and want to work in the US, or vice versa. And a good feedback on that. Also in terms of technology, we have our biocatalysis team that works into the mutation of enzyme through our biocatalysis platform, and they use deep learning and deep machine learning on that aspect.
Okay. What about capacity management? This is always a critical concern, such an important focus area for CDMO companies. How do you balance capacity allocation between existing clients and new opportunities? And then how does that shape your approach to long-term planning?
Yes, it's true. In the last few years, there's been quite a concern and restraint for capacities. And that's why we have decided to build up a new plant. And we're building a new plant in our site in Craigavon. So part of that plant already is completed, and I've extended our peptide supply for solid supported peptide, and it's been running. We now have 28,000 square feet of peptide API manufacture. And we also extended our small molecule GMP API manufacture in that same building, but that building will be completed early 2026 with the first process coming. So that was one of our answer to the issue. In the meantime, we had added additional capacity in our current GMP plant. And that's how we manage over the years. And we also have recruited a lot more scientists to support that additional capacity. In terms of, I suppose, the nature of the project that we look at Almac, because we still do a lot of development, the portfolio of our project is maybe 60%, 60% development, 40% commercial. So just by the nature of the project, unfortunately, they don't all reach the commercial stage. So there is a natural selection, I say, in the type of project. And then something we're really proud of is the good communication we have with our existing customers, where they're capable of telling us quite in advance what they required, or at least what they think they'll require in the future. And that really help in terms of management of capacity and allocation.
The 60-40 balance between development and commercial is a useful ratio in terms of kind of managing the sort of future capacity load, because not everything would make it through that stage. In terms of the existing relationship, existing client management is a really helpful element in terms of managing future planning, because you can get long-term objectives, timelines from those clients.
Exactly. And I think the balance of those two aspects is really vital for us to maintain, to get new customers and to support our existing customers.
Thinking a bit more about cost management now and continuous improvement, as a business, how does Almac ensure cost transparency while also driving value for clients through efficiency initiatives?
We do believe that from the initial encounter when we're establish the scope of work, it's really vital point in that discussion, because ultimately, if that point is misled, it's really difficult then to be having those timeline to be completed or to have the budget on track. So it's really where we love to have this discussion, and our proposal writer have a strong scientific background as well. So they can be able to understand what are the requirements of our customers, but also our project management team is really good at being proactive, of spotting that certain change to the project or certain result to the project would be potentially impact the budget or the timeline. And this is what we really having this communication with our customer early on during the project, but also at the proposal stage. That's what we think we manage it.
And thinking a bit more about ESG and sustainability. So obviously really important factors in virtually every industry, and certainly becoming important factors within CDMO selection. What steps are you taking to reduce environmental impact and also help your sponsors meet their scope 3 emission targets and their wider sustainability targets?
Yes, it's definitely a really important subject, and is an important subject to Almac. I think we are one of the first CDMO that's been really engaged on that subject. We have a sustainability report, an annual sustainability report, which is published every year on our website, and you can access if you want to have a look. We have a lot of excellent feedback on it, and it's starting to be quite a template for other companies in Northern Ireland. So we've been really involved in that part, and we have a commitment to net zero emission, and we focus on our people, planet, and community. And one of the proof has been that we've been ISO certified last August 2024. So in terms of scope 3, we have committed to 27.5% by 2030. And since last year, our headquarters is powered by wind farm. So it's really, I suppose, the advantage that we have. We are in the countryside here. We have the space to do that, but we are taking that advantage to in favor for us. And I suppose in terms of process and our customer coming to us, that's where our technology become really interesting, because we have, as I mentioned, expertise in biocatalysis, but also in flow chemistry. And so we do try to bring greener process into scale up. So reduction of solvent and driving efficiency in terms of yields, and also cost effective for our process, for sourcing. So we really have a sustainable vision in everything that we do, from the process, but also on a overhead and global company outlook.
And finally, Franciane, looking ahead 3 to 5 years, what's the vision for Almac as an organization? What are you looking at in terms of future investments, and how are you ensuring those investments and your growth strategy also align with the future needs of your clients?
Almac, we grow slow and steady, and this is also driven by our customer needs. So any growth will be really focused on what our customers are required. So in the last 10 years that we're starting to do commercial, but before that we didn't really do any commercial manufacture, but it's because our project that were early development, like developed to commercial manufacture. So that's really how we grow. So this is a demonstration of us showing also the expansion that we've been doing with the plant, manufacturing plant. It's another demonstration of our growth aligned with our customers. And in terms of commitment, we still want to commit to that net zero. And we have been growing our business. We have hired more than 100 people on the site in Craigavon, and our emission has stayed stable. So it's a really strong commitment on those aspects. And also by nature of our business, we will reinvest everything back in the business. So that is our vision. In terms of capabilities, we're thinking that we are now with this new GMP plant coming online in early 2026. We're looking at maybe moving into we have multiple sites of manufacture, and our non-GMP site now maybe to move into GMP intermediate manufacture as well on that site. So extend that capability that we already have, and then also going into GMP flow. A bit ambitious, but we know we can do it.
Well, there's certainly a lot going on there. It's obviously great to be ambitious, and with the foundation of the trust and the reinvestment of profits, as you've said. So that's a great place to be. Franciane, it's been a pleasure to chat with you today. Thank you again. And obviously, we look forward to hearing more from and about Almac when we meet for CDMO Live on the 7th and 8th of May. Been a real pleasure to talk with you, and we look forward to hearing more.
Thank you so much.
Experience the future of contract manufacturing at CDMO Live 2025. Join us at the World Trade Centre Rotterdam on May the 7th and 8th, 2025, for an exclusive event that brings together the sharpest minds in biopharma outsourcing. For 2 days filled with market insights, best practices, and partnering. So head to cdmolive.com to download the agenda and to book your ticket.